One of the reasons why you are not successful in business is because of this, the game. See, you can be the most talented YouTuber, photographer, videographer, graphic designer, coach, author, you name it. You can be the most talented basketball player in your neighborhood. But in order for you to join the big boys, the NBA, you need to understand how the game is played. See, in order for you to understand or learn the rules of the game, you need somebody that has played there before. Somebody that have learned and mastered the rules of the game to teach you that. And once you learn that, you will be able to be drafted. And here's what happens. After you drafted, you will get a coach that's gonna keep your amazing talent in check. See, you cannot just get on the field and do whatever you wanna do. Here's the sad reality. Talent alone is not enough for you to be successful in business. Having all the amazing equipment that you need to get the job done is still not enough for you to be successful. Now, when I say successful, I mean being able to consistently land premium clients. That's why I decided to create Content Creators University. Who am I? My name is JP Hightek. I am a global branding expert. I am also the founder and CEO of a media agency called Perfect Zone Productions. As a matter of fact, you are in one of my studios right now.
Hey, it's Tanya Smith here of Get Noticed with Video and Stream Like a Boss TV.
Hey everybody, my name is Michelle Singh. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I have an educational consulting firm.
Hey you guys, James Hicks here from Hicks New Media.
JP has an incredible presence. You know, when I go and I look people up and try to find out more about them, everything was stellar. Anything that you could find about JP showed that he was an upstanding gentleman, that he delivered amazing and beautiful visual presence, that he tells the truth and he is authentic and genuine. And all of those things made me say, yes, absolutely.
I just worked with JP Hightek from Perfect Zone Productions, and we spent the entire day together doing photos and video shoots for my rebranding of my company. And when I tell you the entire experience was amazing, it was amazing.
Right, I had the privilege of working with JP on some brand and media assets that I wanted worked on within my studio, and everything from the initial conversation to the planning discussions to the constructive feedback and criticism that I was given from him was absolutely spot on.
I was all on it because I believed in him and I could see what he was capable of doing through the lens of others who have been on the internet that have been impacted by him and his truth. So I actually became a client of JP because he gave me truth. He said, you know what, I like your live stream. I enjoy the content. But the presence, what you're putting out there in terms of the professionalism of your live stream needs to match the level of the excellence of content that you're delivering. And when he said this, I paused for a minute and I thought, he's so right. So what did I do? I asked, can you help me? Can you and your team help me? And JP and his team created the most beautiful graphics. They were perfectly branded for me, for what I wanted to do with Stream Like a Boss. I find myself using them consistently and regularly in almost every live stream show that I do, and I often get compliments and people DMing and asking, who did your graphics? Who put that together?
Oh, this is me before JP.
And this is me after JP. Do I look awesome or what? I finally have correct colors. I'm human. Yes, I am human. I have the correct colors in the background, my regular purples that I can see with them. You know, I can see the purples. I can see the purples. So I'm really happy, JP, for you putting this together for me, this custom LUT. It took about 48 hours and it was really amazing customer service. So go ahead and get yours. This is Dr. Elo out.
And I thank him, I thank his team for what they've provided me. I definitely look forward to working more and closely with them in the future as my needs evolve. So I really just wanted to tell folks, if you're looking for someone to help you design, build either a website, media kit, some type of branding materials, definitely check out my man JP Hightek and his team. Appreciate you, man.
So if you're looking for photos, rebranding, video, commercials, anything or it's related to that media aspect and branding aspect of your company, I highly recommend Perfect Zone Productions. Not only did they provide the environment and the space for me to get the images and the videos that I needed done, but everything even down to the outfits and even down to the makeup was a part of the experience. And so if you're looking for somebody to just do it all for you and your company, as far as branding, Perfect Zone Productions, JP Hightek, that's who you need to contact.
We have the talent already. We have the motivation already. We have maybe the equipment that we need already. What else is there? Come and learn with me. Let me teach you the rules, the things that I had to learn to take my business to 6 figures. The day my company made $100,000, I understood how to apply those things. And once you learn how to apply those rules, you can 10x that. Now I'm able to take my podcast, Content Creators University, and I was able to land so many clients that last year, in a matter of 4 to 5 months, I was able to make the same 6 figures. You can do the same thing too. This is not rocket science. You just need to learn. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. This takes a lot of work. Nobody's gonna do it for you. You must be willing to do the job. See, here's the deal. Entrepreneurship means that you are willing to be working when everybody else is asleep. You're willing to put in 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Today, now is the time to put in the hard work. Work like none other so that later you can leave like none other. So, if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to learn and apply, if you're willing to go through the courses, master classes, conference replays, materials, and everything that me and my team are about to give you in this private community, well, come join me. You have 2 options. You have the free option and you have the gold option. The gold is paid. Free is free. Regardless of which one you have, you will get major value because there will be some things that you will not see anywhere. You're not gonna find it on YouTube, Facebook, anywhere else, but on this platform. So what I want you to do is go ahead and sign up today for free or join the gold membership and let's grow together. One thing that I always say is that the day you stop learning, you stop growing. So I'm looking for you to join so together we can learn, we can grow, and we can impact the world. Every day is another opportunity. See you soon.
Look, this is a man who is going to give you the honest truth, but not only that, he has just a wealth of knowledge and experience in the branding, digital marketing, media, visual entertainment space. There's no one that I would recommend more highly than him to be someone that partners with you to upscale your brand and to make sure that you show up in the stellar way that you want to show up. And even beyond what you can think of, because he has a vision, he can see what could be. And that's what I have appreciated so much is the possibilities that he has opened up and expanded my thinking to really embrace.
Ooh, child, honey, I got so much to learn, but this was awesome to see the quality of production that actually can be had without having a TV studio or something like that, right? Like for me, I'm like, how can I get something that's high quality from this spot that I'm sitting right here, which is my office, and make it look good, sound good, and the quality be like studio quality. So I am thoroughly impressed, hands down.
I got to tell you, there are a lot of people who talk about how JP puts things together and they look so slick and polished. What I'm also really impressed by, even beyond the things that you may see is on the outside, is the stuff that is happening behind the scenes, because the systems and the processes, all the stuff, the machinery that JP's got in place, man knows his stuff. So super impressive, and it's really a privilege to be here and be part of it.
What you have is a glimpse into the future of content. If you're watching this like on your TV right now, think about what you just saw. If you're watching this on your phone, think about all the elements. What's so different between what he
Hey family, guess what? The Content Creators University is a show that airs every single week, but I want to connect with you. I want you to go ahead and download my mobile application. If you have an iPhone, go ahead and download my app called JP Hightek TV right now onto your phone. If you have a TV, a smart TV, my app is also available on your Roku TV, right? Go ahead and download JP Hightek TV on your Roku TV or your Amazon Fire TV right now, and let's connect together, right? I want you to grow with me. I want us to grow together. If you love podcasts, I'm also happy to tell you that the Content Creators University is available syndicated across every podcast platform. Apple Podcasts, Audible, Google Podcasts, you name it, we are there. Spotify and all of that. Go ahead and download it, listen to it, and do me a favor. If you appreciate what we're doing, go ahead and put it in the comment section. Leave me a review on any of those podcast platform or mobile application platform. Let me know if any of the hard work that we're putting into this community, this broadcast, this podcast is helping you. If you appreciate all the amazing guests that we're bringing onto the platform to share their expertise with you. This is a lot of work, family, and I'm doing all this in order for you to be able to grow your business the right way, leveraging content creation. Thanks so much, and if you appreciate what we do, go ahead as well subscribe to the YouTube channel JP Hightek Reviews. Follow me personally if you want to, connect with me on all social media, and the handle is @JP Hightek. I love connecting. Like I always say, network is the new currency. So I want to see you online. I want to connect with you, and I want to hear from you. Let's grow together. Be safe, like I always say. See you next time. Shalom. Peace. Hey, family, and welcome to another episode of the Content Creators University. Always excited, family. Super excited and pumped because we just got out of the conference, the Creators Unleashed conference. It was phenomenal. It was amazing. The 2-day event. You guys know we had 9 other speakers, and including your humble servant JP. 10 total speakers for 2 days. The replay coming soon. But hey, if you're new, well, allow me to introduce myself. I'm your humble host, JP Hightek. Hey, I'm a global branding and media expert. What I do is help small, businesses, organizations, and entrepreneurs build a premium brand, ultimately by, scaling fast and dominating their competition, leveraging technology into, the ways of live streaming, live video like we're doing right now, web designs, photography, videography, software development, having that amazing premium brand so you can charge more for your product and services. That's what we do. So if you appreciate the things we're doing, you're like, hey, I want to show up the way that guy's showing up. Well, let's connect. That is what we do here. And of course, if you're new, I want to go ahead and encourage you to follow us on Amazon because we're live right now on Amazon. If you're watching it, thank you for joining us on Amazon. And if you're watching this somewhere else, for example, on YouTube or anything like that, well, go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube as well, which is JP Hightek Reviews. We do go live every single week. And that's what we do here, right? What we do is allow you to master the business side of creating content, right? So you can monetize from that and make a full-time living. So family, that is what we're here for. If you didn't know, the first thing that we're about to do is talk about the news, what's new in the Content Creators University. And right after that, we'll bring our special guest so we can talk about all those amazing things in regards to video and how you can really jump in today. Well, stay with me right after these sponsors that we have on this platform, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
This is Todd.
Hi.
This is Todd's mom.
Hi.
In a moment, Todd's mom will read her son's internet browsing history.
What?
Aloud, please.
No.
Supermodels on trampolines.com. Why don't girls like me? How to overcome an overbearing mother.
Okay, cut.
If you wouldn't want mom looking through your web history, why would you let hackers, ad companies, or your internet and cellular provider do the same thing?
Why does my junk burn?
They can track and record everything you do online, but not if you have ExpressVPN.
Why did you buy a $200 ninja outfit?
For fighting.
ExpressVPN apps keep your activity and identity private while you browse, stream, email, or download. Protect all of your devices with just one click.
Are my hands small?
Okay, I'm done. You guys are all terrible people.
ExpressVPN. Take back your privacy today.
All right, family, let's go ahead and talk about it. The news in the Content Creators University. As you can see, like I said, the replay is coming soon for the Creators Unleashed conference. So what you want to do for more information, all you have to do is go to contentcreatorsuniversity.com/conference. I repeat, contentcreatorsuniversity.com/conference for the Creators Unleashed, replay. Amazing stuff. And we had, like I said, 9 amazing speakers. So go ahead and get that information. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor for this conference, which was Ecamm Live. A big shout out to Ecamm. Thank you guys for supporting us. And if you didn't know, Ecamm is what I'm using right now to encode this live stream out to you guys. If you appreciate what you see, is in part big thanks to Ecamm. Go ahead and get yourself a free 15-day trial by going to bit.ly/Ecamm Live free. I repeat, bit.ly/Ecamm. If you're listening to the podcast, it's ECAMMLIVE. Free, FREE. Go ahead and get it because, I mean, hey, no strings attached. Just to let you guys know, this is only available on Mac. And if you're watching this stream right now on Amazon, you know, in the carousel, we have all the products that we're using right now in this live stream to make this happen. If you love how this looks, you love how we sound, you love everything. Well, the computer, the Mac Mini that we're using is in the carousel. You know, the microphone is in the carousel. The camera that we're using, the lens combination combo, all that is in the carousel. And if you're watching this somewhere else and you want to get those deals, because, I mean, there are some amazing deals going on, some early Black Friday deals happening right now, go ahead and follow us and join the live stream on Amazon.com/live/JP Hightek. All right, let's continue this news. Of course, if you didn't know, this platform, Content Creators University, is both sponsors and listener supported. So we want to go ahead and give a shout out to our next sponsor here, which is ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN, shout out to you guys for sponsoring season 4 of the Content Creators University. And you can go ahead and get yourself a free 3-month of ExpressVPN by going to expressvpn.com/JP Hightek. I repeat, Express, EXPRESSVPN.com/JP Hightek, JP HIGHTEK. If you're listening to the podcast, go ahead and get yourself free 3 months by getting yourself a 12-month subscription. Amazing stuff there. If you don't know what a VPN is, it's a virtual private network, especially that now we're spending so much time online. We need to protect our digital assets against a whole lot of different things you guys can imagine. So one thing that I love about this VPN is you can use it simultaneously on several other devices and even on certain websites that other VPN do not work with. I personally recommend them. They're phenomenal. Again, go ahead and get yourself your free 3 months by getting this subscription today, or any other deals that is attached to it. And if you go, you will see clearly says, right, limited time offer only for JP Hightek viewers. So this is for you guys, family. Go ahead and get the deal right now. Just to let you guys know, we also have another sponsor here. It's called RTN Streams. A lot of folks are always asking, JP, how is it that you're live simultaneously on so many platforms, but also on Roku TV? Well, I'm using a solution called RTN Streams, and I'm happy to let you guys know that they're also sponsor here to supporting this podcast so we can keep doing what we do, right? Go ahead and get yourself your account. And they have some deals going on as well. Due to this season, family, Get your CDN account with them right now by going to rtnstreams.com. If you want to be live simultaneously on Roku TV, taking your podcast to a TV broadcast and landing more branding deals, well, this is the things you got to do. Go ahead and get it today, family. rtnstreams.com. I want to give a shout out to the folks that are watching us right now in your homes. Thank you guys for welcoming the Content Creators University every week in your home. We appreciate that, family. Big shout out to you guys. We are grateful. So, of course, I want to let you guys know, for the folks that are like, yo, how can I connect with JP? One of the ways you can do it, right, is by joining the community, which is by going to contentcreatorsuniversity.com. Now, family, by going to contentcreatorsuniversity.com, you are joining a private community. This is not a private Facebook group. This is an actual social private community of like-minded thinkers, people that are trying to level up and build a business around the content they're creating, right? So if you want to have a unique place, a private space where you're safe to express yourself, collaborate, and network with other professionals in the same industry, people that are actually moving things and making things happen, right? Well, that's the place to go. So go ahead and join it for free today by visiting contentcreatorsuniversity.com. Let's grow together. That's what I always say, right? We need to grow together so that we can impact the world together. That's what this is all about. Of course, family, the very last thing I'll tell you, for the folks that are like, yeah, I just want to book you, JP. I want to book you, you and your team, because I need your help with branding, leveling it up, and really showing up the way you're doing. You can do it at very simple. Just go to my website, jphightek.com, jphightek.com, and let's see how my team and I can help you scale fast, dominate your competition, leveraging technology, and really building that premium brand. That's what we do, right? So let's connect with you and let's get this show on the road. Now, family, let's go ahead and talk about our guest that's coming. And his name is Jim Fuhs. And Jim Fuhs is the president of Fusion Marketing and does marketing the Marine Corps way. I love that, the Marine Corps way. Why? Well, he's a retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel turned digital marketing consultant, speaker, live streamer, podcaster, remote live stream and virtual event producer with over 30 years, family, of business and social media experience. Let me say that again. 30 years of business and social media experience. Whoo, that's amazing. I hope I'm not giving away his age. He's a veteran, family. He's a veteran. And so Jim, he simply is an amazing folks. I say folks because him and, and his other best friend on this weekly live show he does as well on Dealcaster, Chris. Chris was here as well as a guest. And, they're phenomenal people. And, Jim has 20 plus years of highly successful leadership experience as a Marine Corps officer, that lets him bring that bear in the ever-changing world of marketing technology. He has a unique approach to the way he does marketing, right? And the way he shows up with video, because that's what he does every single week. So what we want to do today is see exactly, not just talk about, yes, let's incorporate video, but what are the strategies that he's implemented in order for him to be successful, and how can we do that as well? So those are the things we're about to talk about today, because this is a university. So Professor Fuhs is coming into the place. Right after this intro, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right. Hey, Jim, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, JP. Such an honor to be here. And you talk about, learning something new every day, just even from watching the videos you have going before you get into the show. I had to make sure my microphone was on mute because I was laughing at that VPN commercial. That was funny. I got some good laughs out of that. But it's been a great day. It's a Thanksgiving week, a week to be thankful for, you having me on the show. Thankful to see some of our friends here in the chat. James Hicks is a great guy. Good to see him. Got to see James at Podcast Movement in Dallas. So hopefully we'll run into each other again soon. But yeah, great to I find out we're like within driving distance of each other.
I know,
right?
I know.
Yeah.
We're about 5 hours away from each other, which
Yeah.
means that we need to link up in person sooner than
Yes.
later, right?
Yes,
That would be
definitely.
phenomenal. Well, hey, like I said, you heard me say it, right? Professor Fuhs in the house. So you are our professor today, because this is a university and we're about to learn a lot from you, especially talking about video, which is a big deal today, right? The world have changed, quote unquote, post-COVID, where a lot of folks are really diving into the power of video, but not everybody is actually successful doing it. So we're about to talk about how are you using it in your business. How are you leveraging the power of that and really converting people from potential customers to actual customers and things like that. We want to learn and really make a living off of the things that we do. And how can we make money? What are the different assets that you have in place to really help you monetize? So those things are we're about to talk about today. But before we start, let me go ahead and ask you to introduce yourself for the folks that, don't know who you are. They're like, JP, why are you so excited? Well, let them know why I
Yeah.
think you're so
Like you
amazing.
said, I'm a retired Marine lieutenant colonel. Been retired for 13 years. Hard to believe, and it's something that is always a part of you. I think that's one thing. If I had a message to veterans, is when you come back into the as we call it, the civilian world, uh, the military is always going to be a part of you, and you need to embrace it. I did struggle with that at first, but now that I have embraced that, it's a part of my DNA. It's a part of what helps me make business decisions. One of the big things in the Marine Corps is we learn to adapt and overcome. And if anything, JP, as you've seen over these last 3 years, there's been a lot of that necessary for people to keep moving forward. And I don't like the word pivot. I like to say shift. And so I think what we've seen is there's been a acceleration into video. And so what I've done with my business, where originally I started out more in the social media marketing management sort of thing, but I'm a geek. I like tech. We're both using Mac Mini M1s.
Yes, sir.
These things are allowing us to do things that when I was growing up, probably the same for you, I would have never imagined that we would be doing this sort of thing right now. That it just is mind blowing, but it's a great opportunity to serve others. And so I think what Chris and I do, like as an example with Dealcasters, and my friend Tim and I do with the Tim and Jim show, is we bring guests on. We talk to people to help people solve their problems, right? Because what we're doing today in this university is we're helping people solve some issues that they're having with video. And I think that if you think about it that way, as opposed to I'm trying to make a sale, things of that nature, that's really what is important. And the other thing is, right, we can all learn from each other. I mean, I'm just, like I told you before the show started. I mean, if you folks don't understand the type of talent it takes to make these graphics, right? You need to be talking to this guy over to my right, I think, on your screen. And it's just some amazing stuff. But that's what catches people's attention. And when you catch people's attention on video, and especially when this is live, right? We're able to interact with people live. We're able to build community. We're able to build that know, like, and trust. And then people's like, hey, I want to work with you. How can I work with you? And so I think that's where I've seen the videos help me. I've worked with the San Francisco Chronicle. I've worked with StreamYard. I've worked with several pharmaceutical companies, helping them put on virtual productions, because this isn't going away, right? As much as everybody's like wants to get back out and, be friends, here's what's happened. Some of these businesses have realized, when you look at companies like Adobe,
Right.
Microsoft, that when we have a virtual event, we can get a lot more people there. Now, that's not to say they don't have maybe an in-person component, but now they got to figure out, well, how can we make this, for lack of a better term, hybrid, right? How can we make this hybrid so that you can have the interaction in person, but we also get that virtual audience involved? And it's a business decision, right? Inflation, with the way it is now, people are like, well, I really can't afford to travel, but I could watch something online. So if you're not diving into video, you're really holding yourself back. And I know people can be afraid. You think, oh, what, how do I do it? you just do it a rep at a time. You'll get better every time you do it. And there's so many people out there that want to help people be successful, that our host here included, that there's really no excuse for it.
Well, I love that. I love that. And, I love that you went ahead and jumped into the conversation, because we have a lot to talk about when it comes out to video. Because a lot of times people, I hear that a lot, right? Leverage video, but we don't really talk a lot about how. Right. The how of leveraging video. I mean, one thing is good to tell people, leverage video in the things you're doing, but how am I supposed to do it? Should I just get up and start making video and posting everywhere, which a lot of folks have done, right? They went ahead and just started with no strategy, nothing. They just like, okay, I see a lot of social media platforms. I guess I should be posting everywhere at the same time every day. And now people are getting overwhelmed. They're like, I think this is a little too much. I can't keep this up, which is why, sadly, right, 7 out of 10 podcasts are discontinued within the first 6 to 12 months, right? So somebody just asked that question, prior to the live show. They're like, all right, JP, one thing that they wanted to know is, to ask you is, okay, why is it that somebody could not just go ahead and embrace the audio podcast and not do the visuals aspect of it, to ask you if that was just okay enough, or would you really, really recommend to put a face to a camera to add to it? So what would you say about that aspect of approaching this new generation of producing content and leveraging that to grow your business?
Well, I think you're doing it as well. So one of the things that Chris and I do with Dealcasters is it is a live stream video production. But what we do is we repurpose the audio into an audio only podcast. And now, as an example, YouTube is pushing out, podcast, and then it kind of gets, is it really a podcast, or is it a video of people having a conversation? I think that it's getting murky, but we also have to consider that people learn differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people don't want to stare at a screen and watch these two guys, and I got the more handsome guy over here to my right, talking on screen. They would rather listen because they can be doing something else. They can be,
Right.
taking a walk outside or something like that. So I think it's not an either or. It's really like what makes more sense. And so if by having the video though, now you can make those, you can repurpose it, and now you can think about doing things like reels or TikToks or
Mm-hmm.
shorts, that then drives people back to say, I need more. I need to see the whole thing. I just don't want that one little snippet. But that snippet can be powerful because then that gets people, interested in you. So I think, going back to your other comment though, where I think people need to, think about it is, and I've told people this before, you don't have to be everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because people say, "Oh, you need to get on everything," you don't need to be on everything. I mean, we've had these talks about, Twitter with Elon Musk taking it over and everything that was going on.
Right.
People were like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, where do I go now?" Well, Twitter's still there. So I have personally, I have confidence in Twitter's future. So I didn't go like start jumping on all these other platforms that are new that I know nothing about, because right now I'm going to spread myself too thin.
Right.
But what I
Right.
did do maybe is like maybe some of these people that I'm connected with on Twitter, it's like, hey, let's connect on LinkedIn. Hey, let's follow each other on Instagram, right? Which is places that you should connect with JP as well if you haven't already, because the messaging is different on each platform, and the algorithms are different on each platform. So you got to decide what makes sense for you. Like I have a TikTok account, but you know, in full transparency, I don't do a lot on it. And I haven't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily figured out, like, is it worth it, when I think I have more value by being on Amazon and doing live solving. People talk about live selling. Chris and I like to call it live solving. We're helping people in real time, whether it's like, what kind of microphone should I use, things of that nature. YouTube is the number one search engine after Google, and people are looking for
Mm-hmm.
their problems to be solved on YouTube. So that's where things like this, right? Somebody's going to be looking like, how do I get started with video? And this show may pop up in their search results, and it probably will, because JP knows what he's doing. So these are the things that people need to think about. And I just think video is great because it's like we get all the senses except for touch, taste, and smell at the moment, right? And that may
Right,
change
right.
over time.
Well, that's good. That's good. Thank you so much for going there. You're absolutely correct, right? Every single platform or social media has a different approach, different public. You go on LinkedIn is a different public. You go on TikTok is a different public. Instagram, Facebook, you know what I mean? Each platform is different, and the algorithm is different according to that platform because they are really favoring specific type of audience. And you are 100% correct, right? That's why you can't just one cookie fits all. Everybody can taste out of it and get the same result is not realistic, right? Yes, like you said, yes, have a presence or a profile or something on each platform, right? Because you never know where somebody might look for you at. But focus primarily on one and let the others be supporting that main one, right? And I love that. I love that approach. So now let's go back a little bit. How did you get started in video? I mean, because you were serving, right? And
Yep.
now you're in the civilian world, and here you are having a podcast every week, making money off of Amazon and all of that. Have you always wanted to do something like this, or you just happened to try it out?
No, it was one of those things that growing up, I was always into tech. Used to be one of those guys that would help people upgrade their computers and things like that. Loved video games. But when I retired, I was originally doing government contract consulting because that's part of what I
Okay.
did when I was in the military. But it wasn't like my passion. And I started to see people doing all this social media stuff. I was like, oh, this is interesting, right? Because it's a little bit of that tech thing. But I went to social media marketing world in 2018, and that's when everybody was talking about Facebook Live. You got to go live on Facebook. That's what Facebook wanted you to do. And I met this lady who's become a good friend, Kelly Noble Mirabella,
Yes, she
and
was on the show too. Yeah.
yeah, she did a challenge, a Facebook Live challenge. Because the other thing was having clients. It's like, well, I got to get them to go live. So if
Mhm.
I don't go live, they're not going to do it. So it's like, I'm one of those that believes like if you want to teach people, you also need to know how to do it.
Right.
And so
Right.
I like that hands-on approach. So I took her challenge, and then that led me into a co-hosting show that started in 2018. And so pretty much have been live at least once or twice a week ever since then. And it was, a little bit of that, discomfort at first, but I actually think now I prefer doing video and live streams over, say, other forms of content creation. I just, and I enjoy being on a show when you're with someone because you can have that conversation and it's just so much more real. And and it's hard to do this in and then the other thing is, right, this will be out here forever. We're leaving a legacy for our families that when we're gone, they can come back and see us when we're young looking.
When we're looking good, right?
That's
We
right.
can still kick it. I love that. So now let's talk about that aspect because a lot of people, especially in my audience, right, on this platform, are small business owners, people that truly want to build a business around their content, right, make money off of it, and potentially go full time, right, sustain themselves with the content they're creating. So you're making money off of it. Before we talk about some of the ways that you're making money, tell us how has video transformed your business, right? Share with us how did video truly help you?
Well, I think by being on video, by people seeing me speak, by people watching the shows, as an example on Amazon, it's built an awareness. It's built that digital portfolio where people's like, oh, who is this guy? Oh, or even, it was funny is you never know when people are watching, right?
Hmm.
And so I've had people say, I watch your show every week, and now I'm ready to have a conversation. So I think it's that consistency of effort that people start to see, that they see what you're talking about. They see that you know how to interact with people. That is so important. So as a small business, when you start saying, well, why should I do video? Well, you can teach people about the problems you're solving. It doesn't have to be, just keep it real, right? show people your team. I think behind the scenes videos are great. It helps people connect. And I think the biggest thing is just to be consistent. I mean, even if you did it once a month, right? Do it once a
Right.
month. Don't feel like you got to do it every day. I had a guest on a show last week, and I love what she said she did. She goes, I batch record a bunch of reels, and then I post them out over time. So it's kind of like a podcast, right? Some people, when they do a podcast, will do a few, so you kind of have some in the bank, and then you can release them week by week, as opposed to feeling like, oh my gosh, like this show. And this is a challenge of a live show. You've got to be available at this time every week, and you got to plan everything around that. And so I think that is, something to consider when you're doing some of these things. Do I want to be live? And that's where, if you're recording stuff, that can be beneficial. But on the live aspect, you're going to get a chance to interact and build those super fans, as Pat Flynn likes to talk about, especially if you get them engaged in the show.
And so that's the aspect of it, right? Because honestly, engagement drives conversion, right? The more engaged you are with your potential clientele, right, your audience, they will convert. And so that's where I believe some people feel like they're not engaging enough, right? But there's a secret that you actually said, and I hope people paid attention, where it comes down to the structuring of your video, right? You seeing the video, the different graphics happening on the screen. If you're watching it, different elements, different camera angles, and different stuff that helps the attention span, because retention is also part of keeping the people showing up every week, right? If you can retain their attention, they're going to stay. They're going to watch it, right? And they're going to come back again next time as you're still producing. So you may not be naturally that outspoken or very jovial type of person, but if you have supporting elements that are helping you with that, that will be a great way to approach it in regards to you having a good presence on video. Because I mean, video is all about your presence, and that's what translates emotion to people. I'm a cinematographer, so I love talking about video. Now, one thing though, Jim, that I want us to talk about is how do you make money?
Well, we make money by with remote production. Obviously, that's not free, but you find these clients that need something put together. It could be an event over multiple days. It could be, a webinar, but they need someone to produce it. Because in some cases, these companies don't want to make the investment into, whether it's using Ecamm or some of these other platforms. It's like, I don't want to know how the sausage is made. I just want that end result. And so that's where we're able to help them and take that off of them. We can help them create runs of show, things of that nature. Now with Amazon, what's happened is, as companies see the videos that we're producing or the live streams we're producing, they reach out to us, and so we start working with them, and that also leads to another revenue stream. So that's another great way. And if you're a business, right, and you're selling your own product, right, you can have links in your video descriptions that let people make that purchase, right? Have that link to your e-commerce, right? Maybe it's a link to set up an appointment with you. And I know that some people are starting to do a thing too. Volley, if you're familiar with that, JP just released a feature where you can, that you ask them, asking me anything sort of thing. Now you're going to pay for it, but it's, asynchronous. So it can be at, at any time kind of a thing as far as answering. And I think that's another great way for businesses to monetize the use of video as well. And that's something I'm going to be doing here shortly as well. I know our friend James Hicks is doing that. Have you started doing that yet?
Yes, I'm on Volley already. For the folks that don't have Volley, follow me on Volley, man. You can connect with me there. Yes, sir. I'm already there. I love it. The video, and again, see, is a video messaging primarily platform, right? Like they've built the entire platform on a video messaging. So that helps. Why? Because video is just more engaging than anything else, right? When you can put a face to the voice, right? Audio is fantastic, but videos includes the audio aspect of it as well. And so people, really can feel certain emotions that they will never feel if they've never actually watched it. The second they can watch it, it changes the way they can approach it. So now, all right, Jim, let's talk specific steps. Here I am, right? I have a business. I'm trying to grow my business, right? Because you've been in marketing for a very long time. So here I am. I'm starting my new business. They're like, oh, you got to do video. Okay. How first do I go about choosing the platform that I should primarily focus on, like you just shared earlier? Do I just test the waters and see what works? Or what approach do I take? What do I do?
Yeah, I think part of it is you've got to know where your audience is. I would say for most businesses, I think YouTube and I'm going to say LinkedIn, number two, as maybe two of the places they really want to focus on. I'm not going to say Facebook as much because I think there's a couple things that happen. When you look at the dynamics of, we'll call it the behavior of consumers or your potential client, are they really going? Do I go to Facebook looking for help in my business? If I or something I need done around my house, probably not. Right? I'm going to go to my network. But I might go to YouTube and search for plumbing stuff. Right? There's this guy Roger Wakefield that he went on YouTube a few years ago and he blew up his business like you wouldn't believe because he was doing videos about plumbing. Right? And he wasn't even live at first. I think he was just recording like how to fix toilet, sometimes showing like, the before and after type
Right.
videos, which was, so I think that's where YouTube, right? You start to build that presence, you start to put that out there, answering people's questions, problem solving. You got to remember, we are all problem solvers. Think about that first. You got to be willing to give away stuff. And by that meaning give away that knowledge. Because the reality is, will some people, if you want to say copycat you, it's possible. But I think when you show that expertise and video gives you such a great way to express it, then they're more likely to say, you know what? JP Hightek knows what he's talking about. I'm just going to go hire him instead of wasting all this time trying to do it myself. So I think that's where I see that. And then with LinkedIn, they've been changing things up. You can upload a video up to 10 minutes as it is, but you can also go live if you just turn on creator mode. And that also, opens up some other features as well for you on LinkedIn. So those are probably my two that I would say if I was going to start doing video as a business, that's where I would focus. If I'm in the B2B space, definitely more so LinkedIn. B2C, I would probably say YouTube. And then, I think the others is like, are you comfortable? Do you really have a lot of traction? Because the algorithms too are the other thing, right? You could put a video on Facebook and nobody will see it. Where there are ways, I think, not guaranteed, obviously. I think YouTube, if you start to work with the people that understand YouTube, you can at least have a better opportunity for success there, I think, because of search and the way you can set up your videos to be seen.
That's good. And I want to go ahead and take a quick ad break and come back. When we come back, I want us to talk about, okay, what if I've messed up, right? What if I've already messed up? Is that a remedy? Is that a way I can go back and fix it? What will be your advice for somebody that's been doing it just, by just doing it, like being overwhelmed, just posting everywhere, just hoping to get some type of traction and not really converting? How could you help such a business owner? What will be your steps on kind of like, fix things up a little bit, patch things up, like when there's a hole in your roof, well, we're calling the professional. Help us a little bit, right? How can we identify and what should we do in order to get back on the right track? So we'll take a quick ad break and we'll come back. Let's talk about that to help the folks that feel like, okay, I think I messed. What do I do? Start back from the beginning? Stay with me, family. We'll be right back right after this.
Hey guys, whoever's listening to this, I really need you to hear what I'm about to talk about. I'm going to talk about how do you actually customize your look. One of the things that I have been striving for is to have a different look to my overall videos. And what you're seeing right now is kind of my current state, the current state of my look. What I wanted to have was a more cinematic perspective for my live streams and also for my videos. So what I did was I reached out to JP Hightek, and JP Hightek fit. He pretty much tailored my look and feel to exactly what I wanted. Here's the example. This is me right now before JT's magic, and this is the magic of JP Hightek right now with my look. This is exactly the look that I wanted to have for my videos. So we had a session this morning, and it was pretty much a tailored session where we stripped all of my lights away. We stripped all of the background colors, everything. Positioned my lights. We focused in on my camera's white balance first and foremost. And then we actually looked into customizing my LUT. So once again, this is the before. This is the before of what my look looks like, or what it was. And then now here's a gradual transition of JP's LUT for my look. I can temper this look if I wanted to. If I wanted to have a little less, I can do that. If I wanted to have the full I guess power of the LUT, then I have it all the way up here as well. And it has the look that I have been going for, which is even though I do live streams and videos, I want to have it a little more cinematic, and he's actually been able to give this to me. So if you are looking to customize your look and feel for your brand, this for me is just the beginning of what we're trying to do. We customize the color of my look for my videos, and now we're going to be doing a couple other things to kind of bring my brand, a little more alive as we continue to get down this journey with live streaming videos and content creation. You need to call JP Hightek and connect with him as soon as possible, so he can customize the look and feel that you want. Once again, this is the before and this is the after. Thank you so much, JP Hightek. I appreciate all of your support and being patient with me this morning, and for providing me with the look and feel that I've always wanted. Thanks again.
All right, welcome back, family. So we've been here with our guests talking about leveraging video. But if you just listen or watch this ad and you're like, you know what, I really want to get my own custom LUT, well, all you have to do is go to jphightek.com, right? /custom LUT, jphightek.com /custom LUT, and go ahead and get your own professional custom LUT. And why shouldn't you just buy any LUT on the market? Here's the deal. The LUT that you might find online were not designed with your skin tone, your lighting, your colors, your studio in mind, right? It's not custom to you. So as you can see, I'm sliding on the screen just to show you the before and after. Again, go to jphightek.com /custom LUT. Get your own custom LUT. There's so many, options you can get. You can get a corporate look, a cinematic look, a dramatic look, all of that. But custom to you, that is what I personally use. If you're watching, this show right now, then you understand that you need it. I couldn't produce the things that I produce just using all the video gear I have as is. When we're talking about video, those are the things that matters. If it's just, I was just using the camera, even though I have a lot of amazing lighting in my studio right now. Again, family, if you're on Amazon, everything we're talking about is in the carousel. Go ahead and purchase it. So all my amazing light is good. But if I were to remove my LUT right now live, so you can see this is real, this is what you get, right? It's okay. It's kind of pale type of thing. But the punch to it, right? They're like, he looks crispy, punchy. The colors are vibrant. Well, it's a LUT that's doing that. Let me put it back. And you have a number. You can even dial it to the number you like. And mine is 90. So let me go ahead and put it back to 90. And here we go. We're back doing this live so you can see this is real stuff. Now, family, let's go ahead and bring our guests back and talk about how we can continue growing with video if we've done things the wrong way. Should we start all over? Is there a way that we can actually kind of correct the things we're doing and keep growing, right? And really finally make money and grow our business with video? Well, we're here with Professor Fuhs, and let me go ahead and bring him back to the stage. Sir, thank you so much for all the wisdom that you've been dropping on us. We really, really appreciate you. So now we're on the part 2, which leads to the end of the show. Let's talk about steps, right? So I'm a business owner. I've been posting here and there everywhere, but it's just been quote unquote chaotic because I feel a little overwhelmed. I'm not sure what type of traffic I'm getting. So what should I do, right? Should I just start from scratch, creating new channels across everywhere and hiring somebody like you to help me out? How can you help me today? What can you tell me?
Yeah, I think the first thing we have to do is let's take a look at what your channels have been doing. I think one of the dangers, and you hit on this earlier, is a lot of times what we have to be careful about is not just being what I call broadcasters, where all we do is we pump information out. This is what I do. This is how I can help you. And we're not looking for engagement. Engagement is the key on social media. To me, that's the most important of what I call the 4 E's, which is educate, entertain, empower, and engage. Because I don't have to create content to engage, right? I can go on your video and I can engage with the audience, whether it's live or whatever. I can, it doesn't matter what platform. I can engage with other people. If I see somebody has a question, I can give them advice, right? At no charge, right? Because what goes back to, we're trying to help people. I'm not going to sit there like, hey, if you want to know the answer, it's going to cost you X dollars. Because a lot of times it's just a very low hanging fruit that these people need help with initially. So I think engagement, you can fix it there. If you've got a lot of stuff out there that I would say is, maybe it's off topic or whatever, I would say, sure, you can go ahead and delete it. I think though, the thing with starting a new channel, I know sometimes like with YouTube, people say, oh, we should start a new channel for this or that. Maybe it's more about organizing, right? Start to create some playlists that are more in line with what that is solving, right? Or just make the stuff, in the case of YouTube, unlist it, right? Don't necessarily delete it, just unlist it, because you just don't, if that's not what you're trying to get across. And then the other thing is set up a schedule, be consistent, and plan. You need to plan in advance. Why are we doing these videos? What is the end result we want to get out of them? And, that's where the live streaming, to your point, is powerful because, you start to get that audience interacting with you and ask them like, hey family, what would you like us to talk about more of? What do you need help with? And they, your customers, your audience are really the ones that are going to help you, figure out what problems you can help them solve and that they feel like you can solve for them. So I think those are some of the things that I would look at. But, take it slow at first, right? I think sometimes, right, people are so worried about, they get caught up in, how many followers do I have? How many likes or views did I get? Is it converting? And that's not always the case. And that's why I think that's the danger of where we talk about like, oh, so-and-so's got all these TikTok followers, but is it actually bringing them business? And I think that's not the answer that we always hear about. But I really think the biggest thing is make sure you're not broadcasting and that it's just, and by that meaning, I'm just talking about myself. I'm talking about, how great I think I am. And, I mean, that's where I think sometimes I see people like, well, I can't get any engagement on LinkedIn. Are you engaging? Are you going out on other people's posts? And by engaging is more than just hitting the reaction button. It's actually putting something in the comments of substance. I could see where JP, with all your expertise, you could just do that probably, 15 minutes a day, every day, and you would probably start getting more business because people say, hey, this guy really knows what he's talking about. I need to go follow him and find out more. And I think that's where, if a business is struggling, what is your engagement strategy? How are you getting into conversations with people? Because that's, to me, is really where I think a lot of people fall short, is they don't engage.
Oh, man. Family, he's giving you guys the blueprint, man. I'm fired up simply because of what he's telling you. Did you hear what he said? Like, you can be posting videos at people, throwing the videos at people. Like, here you go. Here's another video that I did. But how do I know you know what you're talking about? You got to develop a trust factor. You got to position yourself as an expert. And one of the ways you do that is by engaging, right? By providing solutions, by being helpful on other platforms, right? And truly be mindful about the things you're posting out, because people will organically notice you and be like, okay, this guy in this community seems to be very knowledgeable about video, about live streaming, about, building computers, about, whatever you do, like audio or whatever you're doing, right? He's really knowledgeable. Let me see what he's up to. And that's how, if you have a good system in place, a funnel, if you, whatever you have, right, to capture that lead, well, they become a customer, which is fantastic. One aspect that I really want us to go back to, because I believe that's part of why some people really, and I would say a lot of people really are not successful, is the commitment part of things. Because it is great to be talking about all these things that we're saying, giving them all this solution and all that. Right. But everything fall out if there's no consistency, if there's no commitment. Why is it, Jim, according to your professional expertise, why is it that it's so important to have a certain type of consistency? Why can't I just, right, for the person that doesn't understand, why can't they just post whenever they feel like it, whenever they have something to post about? What's the big deal? Somebody will say. Let us know.
I think it's a couple things. One, the consistency starts to create an expectation, right? People know that Tuesdays and Wednesdays that you're going to be here, right? So they're going to show up and know that. But if all of a sudden you started going live Friday at 9:00, unless you let all your people know, they're going to be like, I didn't see JP this week. What happened? Right? Or if you take a big break, like I need to take some time off, they start to think, like you were talking about with the podcasting, oh, they must not be doing this anymore. So I think that people start to get used to when something happens, but even if they can't watch it live, right? You got team replay.
Right.
Because everybody's got things going on, now that people are, getting out of their houses, they're doing other things, but it's like, I still want to go back and watch that show because I get good information from it. So I think that's one of the things. The other thing is this idea that, you can press this easy button and overnight you're going to have all this success. It is a, in fact, I say it's not a sprint, it's not a marathon, it's a journey that never ends. Because marathon's 26.2 miles, which I actually ran one last month. But you still got to keep going, right? You don't get to a finish line in this business, right? Unless you're done being in business. So you have to realize, this is a journey, right? And things are going to evolve, things are going to change, new platforms are going to happen. And so you have to, you make an evaluation, like you said. Go ahead, create that that profile, claim your name before somebody else might take it from you. And then maybe decide later, okay, now that I've had a time to evaluate, I will then go and, we'll start doing stuff there. But I think too many people think that, because even think about it. When you work with a client, you probably say, look, you need to work with me at least 6 to 12 months. If we're going to see results. And even that's not a guarantee, because it's not all on you or me, right? The client has a responsibility, right? This isn't just something like, oh, hey, I'm just going to give you this and you're going to make me lots of money. Now that take, I don't know your voice. I don't necessarily know your products and everything else. So it's a team effort. So if they're not all in, then that will become a problem in allowing success to happen in a timely manner. And so I think that's where, and you may find out, what we need to, right? Going back to my Marine Corps phrase, we're going to need to adapt and overcome, because what we thought was working isn't. We need to make some changes and not be afraid to make those changes.
See, that's the thing. Don't be afraid to make the changes. It's not like you're going to get all the answers day one. And understanding that technology also evolves, right? Something that may be working this year may not be working 6 months from now. So you got to be open to being able to tweak things around, adjust, like adapt. And all of that is important. You can't just be like, this is it, this I'm going to do, and that's it. That leads to my next point that I wanted to talk about, because I'm pandering on the things that we don't really bring up in a lot of the conversations that I attend, which is, this had to become part of your life. Is a lifestyle change, right? Jim, I want you to talk to us about that aspect, because they might be watching this or listening to you. You have a nice studio, you have a nice camera, microphone, and all that. But you had to really understand and change your mindset that this is a long game, right? I really need to have a space in my life, have a space in my home, make this part of my life, understand that this is part integral of my business. This is something that, because when we're talking about commitment and consistency, that's the thing, right? Like, understand that it's not something I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 times and that's it, but actually change my life surrounding this, make the proper adjustment, and incorporate that into my livelihood. And that then turns around and pays me. Share with us how that changed your life and what are the decisions you had to make, the sacrifices and all of that to really continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things was when I first started out with live streaming, as an example, well, when I was on a PC, I was using a webcam. I didn't have this nice microphone. But what I had to think about is, as you evolve, you have to reinvest, right? And where I get, if you want to say, frustrated with people, and I'm sure you see it, right? Like as an example, Ecamm is a tremendous tool for live streamers, and they continue to advance what they're doing with it. They've just done some new releases on the beta that are very exciting. But people say, well, I got to pay how much a month, right? It's an investment in your business. I mean, business is not free. And so if you can't make enough money or cut something somewhere else to allow you to get the tools in place that will make you better, then you might as well go get a job. And so I think that's where people struggle, right? They get that in that mindset. So for me, it's like, okay, now I've got myself a Stream Deck. Now I've got myself an actual, a Sony ZV-E10, right? These are things I didn't start with, right? So you can work up in stages. You don't necessarily have to start out looking like JP Hightek, and maybe you looked that way, JP, when you first started. But I think that, right, we can progress, because if you put $20,000 into equipment because you get gear acquisition syndrome and then you're not making any money, mama's not going to be happy. So if you can start to prove by, like, start small, right? Progress, invest, progress, invest, stop going to Starbucks. Take that, however much you're spending at Starbucks would pay for you to have Ecamm or some of these other things. But you got to be willing to make the sacrifice if you want your business to work. And so that's what I have done. And I'm lucky, and I know this doesn't happen for everybody. I have a supportive, spouse. And she understands that what I'm doing, and she understands that it's a long game. And so that, so it's a mindset, right? It's balancing, right? You've got to give time for family, but they've also got to give time for you to be successful. Because if that isn't going to happen, it's going to be very difficult for you to ever get out of your own way.
I love what you're saying. And before I address that, I see some comment on Amazon. Hey, family, we're live on Amazon, so go ahead and join us on Amazon, right? Go to amazon.com/live/JP Hightek and follow us on Amazon. John on Amazon is saying, this is not live. Yes, we are live, John. I know it looks crispy. I know it looks like it could be pre-recorded, but we are live, John. So trust me, we're truly live here. And happy holidays to all of you guys right now. Go ahead and jump on all those Black Friday deals. We're highlighting some items in the carousel for you guys. And Jim, I love that, because it's without sacrifice, regardless of the industry, we really cannot achieve anything major. Regardless of what we're trying to do, there's got to be some sacrifice somewhere, right? There's a wise man that said, in order to really get a different result, you have to do things differently. Are
Right.
you doing things differently, or are you doing things the same way and expecting
right.
the same result, right?
That old definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Yep. You know, and I love what you said. It's not free. You're right. A lot of us have to stop getting Starbucks and coffee and buying the things we want and invest in the things we need.
Boom. That's a mic drop for you there. That's exactly the problem right there. Wants versus needs, right? And what you need to succeed is different than what you want to succeed.
What you need to succeed is different from what you want to succeed. Understand that, right? So, are you getting the things that you're needing? Or are you getting the things that you want? If you're getting the things that you want, you're only complimenting your flesh, yourself. That's it. And I always say, you guys know that you must learn how to heal, not diagnostic, right? People, our potential clients, they want what they want. They need what they need. You can either provide the solution or they'll find somebody else that can provide it. That's it, whether you like it or not. That's how the cookie crumbles. Well, Jim, we've gone to the end of the show. I can't believe, looked up and realized that this is the end of the show. But of course, you got some amazing places that you are. I want you to share with my community all the amazing places they can connect with you, follow you, join you, all of that. Let us know, please.
Yeah, if you want to follow us on Amazon, go to dealcasters.shop or dealcasters.live. Love to connect on LinkedIn at Jim Fuhs. And then also, I'm on Twitter at Fusion MKTG as well. And of course, if you go to the Dealcasters page, you can see all our socials are there as well for you to connect there. But loved being here today. This has been an amazing show. You're amazing human being, JP, and great to see everybody that joined us live and on replay. If you got questions, let us know and come back and answer them later.
Absolutely. Let us know whether you're team live or team replay. You have any questions? We're more than happy to, help you answer that. Regardless of the platform, right? Let us know. We appreciate that. Hey, Jim, please don't go anywhere. Stay backstage as I go ahead and close with my community here. I'll be right back with you. All right, family, this is it. As you can see, this is what we do every single week. We have amazing guests like Jim. This is phenomenal, family. And so every week, if you appreciate what we're talking about, I want to ask you to take action, right? We have to be taking actions in everything we're doing. And the action is free. It's not going to cost you a dime. If you want more of this, of course, is follow the channel that you're on right now. If you're on Amazon, follow. If you're on YouTube, follow. Or wherever you are, hit the follow, right? So that we can keep giving you the tools that you need. That's what we do here at the Content Creators University. We help you master the business side of creating content and allowing you to grow and truly monetize and live off of the amazing things that you're creating, right? And so we'll see you again next week for another amazing show. My name is JP Hightek. And don't forget, if you're on YouTube, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe on JP Hightek Reviews, like, and of course, turn the bell icon if you're YouTube. And we'll see you guys next time, family. Next week for another amazing show. You be safe. Like I always say, shalom. Bye, folks.